The content and opinions shared on Talking Random Ish are intended for entertainment and informational purposes. They reflect the personal views of the host and guests and do not constitute professional advice or represent any affiliated organization.
We're talking randomly. Talking random. We're talking randomly. Talking random.
Walt, you can't tell me you couldn't have did nothing with them. Well, you couldn't tell me y'all couldn't have put that footwork with them, Walt.
Yeah, back in the day, boy, I can't do that with you now.
Welcome back to Barbershop Talking Random Ish. I am the Master Barber, Enrique Incadio. Got my main man, the chair number one, the scalper himself, the farmer John, the handyman, the whatever you need, he can give to you. Which is my boy.
I'm good, bro.
And tonight, we got some special people in the building. We got Reverend Watkins in the building. How you doing, sir? Oh, we good. Also got my guy Tex, brand new family in the building. How you doing, my brother?
Wonderful. Enjoying some time with y'all.
And we got a guy that I looked up to. Cause boy, I don't know if you remember that, Walt. It had to be, it was in our high school years. They built the stage, and this song came on. Him and my cousin them, him, Glink Block, Anthony Artister. It said, "My World Cup." You remember that one? And they show, hey man, hey. And the thing about it, cause I think World Cups was only an Athens thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And when them boy,
You got a good memory.
boy, hey,
For sure, yeah.
but hey, man, cause like I say, I was a dancing dude, but y'all was special, man.
Next level.
Y'all was some classic city legends around here, man.
Yeah, there's nothing to brag and nothing, but yeah, we
Well, y'all got that on, man.
we had some stuff too, cause we won so much out of the skating ring, they told us we got to judge. We can't dance no more. We got to judge.
Yes, sir. And like I say, my guy Walt, man. Like I said, I looked up to him, and man, they I'm talking about dancing. Woo, yes sir. Them boys, they'll get down.
Hey, can you give us a little bit?
No, sir.
I just had that. Can you give us a little bit?
What that
Only
do?
thing I can do.
Fresh off memory.
I get so hard.
Yes, sir.
I can give you my leg. I can give you the top part.
They do hip on that.
See what we talking about. We got some youngins, listening. They don't know.
I don't want to speak and y'all be carrying me out here.
Hey, it was funny because we was at Pastor Watkins married my sister and brother-in-law at Dee them wedding. We was at the reception. One of them songs came on, the pastor jumped up. Pastor, y'all act like I ain't from Atlanta. I just gave him a little bit.
When I used to go to Atlanta back in the day, anybody tell me they were from apartment complex with homes on the back of it, I don't want to deal with you.
Yes, sir. Hey, welcome back to Barbershop Talking Random Ish, man. We got the guys in the building tonight, man. We having this great conversation. This is part 2 of a conversation that we started last week with the ladies. We had to come in and clean up and get the hair weave out the shop, and we had to get the
Eyelashes.
the eyelashes and
Yeah.
things, 'cause they had the eye,
The lady
the
front
color,
and
the
all
lady
that.
front. You had to come in and get that out.
Couple chairs kicked over.
Yeah,
Chair
but-
back right.
But the lady showed out, man.
Oh, no.
They gave us some good
They
conversation.
showed out and left out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They like I said, they opened up.
Mhm.
They got vulnerable.
Right.
They cried a little bit, and they had a great conversation. And like I say, I really feel in my heart of hearts that they helped somebody. They helped another lady, young lady, older lady, go through their process, or maybe begin their process, or acknowledge their process. So my hopes is once this conversation is over and shared all the way to the rest of the world, that we will help just one man be able to open up, be able to sit down and possibly acknowledge that he's grieving. Acknowledge the fact that ain't nothing wrong with him grieving.
That's right.
And that it's okay to grieve. And grieving is a part of this thing. And so we're gonna get back to the conversation, but one of the questions I wanted to ask my two pastors in the building, when this thing, when people like me are calling y'all and steady, and y'all dealing with all y'all parishioners' problems and things like that, who is helping y'all get through y'all things? Either one of y'all, go ahead.
Well, first of all, what I do is I go to the church and I lay prostrate and I pray. But I do have a couple of deacons at the church that I can bring in, that I know that what I tell them, it ain't gonna go no farther than what I tell them. Mm-hmm. And they pray for me and they lift me up, and I can empty out to them. And also you have to look at your situation, because a lot of people don't understand. And like you were saying earlier about what you went through and but see, when we complain about the little stuff that we have, people got some more stuff going on worse than what we have going on.
Absolutely.
And I tell people all the time, I don't want to be around a lot of complainers, because you got to realize you get around the complainers. Even when I go to the convalescent home, nursing home, anywhere like that to visit, when they my back, this, that, no, this. By the time you get home, your back hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, your back may be hurt, but you're still here. You see what I'm saying? So I go to the deacons, and they come, either they'll come to me, and what they'll do is they'll hear me out. We pray together, and I can empty out, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I got it off me, and I got it out of me. And see, even being married, some things you can't go to your wife and tell her. I'm saying some men say I can tell my wife everything. No, some things that we go through as men, you need to talk to another man or two.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
So you know, and I can talk to my wife, yeah. But the point is, sometimes I need to get I need to get outcome from a man. I need to talk to somebody. I need, and not to say this, I say this to people all the time. I don't need it. If I'm gonna follow a preacher, I don't need a textbook preacher. I need a preacher that's been through something.
Yeah.
So he can tell me how to get out of something.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so that's what we gotta be around. We gotta be around people who done been through some things, that's gonna keep your information that you share with them. You know what I'm saying? And not soon as you turn your back there on Instagram and Facebook, putting your business out there on, and they ain't gonna do nothing to make it worse on you. Because then you already shared it with them, and then here you see it on social media. Now you done got a little madder now, and this, that, and the other. You already had stuff going on, and they done told it.
Yeah.
So what we have to do is we gotta find some good brothers in our life as men that we can be confidential with, and they can be confidential with us, and we can work together on situations. So we like mentally, sometimes you got to go to your brother and just, hey, look here, I might want to go to Ricky, because I don't see Ricky every day, but I might want to call him and say, look, man, I was on the show, I got something to empty out to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And this, that, and the other. Because we all here to help one another.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? We're not here to bash nobody.
No.
We're here to help one another. And we're trying to help people and other men out there to know that whatever you're going through, you can reach out. There's help out here for you.
Absolutely.
Not only just me as a pastor and there's other pastors and other people in this room, but there's other sources that you can reach out and go to get some good help.
Absolutely.
You know, because if you
Absolutely. Reverend Watkins.
Yes, sir.
At the same question, who do you go to when you need to unload, unwind, empty out?
Okay. Thank you for that question, and I thank God that He has given me several avenues. Of course, we're always going to pray to God and talk to God, but I thank God for a praying wife. That's one of my first outlets. And then not only a praying wife, or going to the wife, but then I have two spiritual brothers who are also pastors. And matter of fact, we're preaching partners. They have dovetailed us, the Hebrew boys, because we oftentimes preach together. So those two guys, Pastor Dork and Pastor Lee, are the ones that I really unbosom to, good, bad, or indifferent, positive or negative. And then, of course, my pastor, Jasper W. Williams, I can always call him anytime about anything or whatnot, and he has always been there for me to coach me and to help me along the way. And then, just in general, to have a church family that is cohesive, that you feel like, okay, most times if I'm in the pulpit teaching or preaching, I try to be transparent about whatever I'm going through or whatever going on, even in my relationships. I try to be transparent, as relates to what the other pastor was saying, to let the members know I'm real. I hurt like you hurt. I cry like you cry. I go through like you go through. I grieve like you grieve. So that helps me to be able to stand in the pulpit Sunday after Sunday, even when I'm going through, or even stand in the pulpit, even when I don't want to teach or don't want to preach. So I thank God for the different avenues that He have laid before me, and then as I am led by the Spirit, I go to that particular person as relates to what I want to share and how I need to share it. And again, to be able to lay my head in my wife's lap, and let her console me for whatever reason being why, has truly been a big blessing. I am somewhat of an introvert. I don't like to talk, but I have a baby brother who's a preacher, and all he would say, give that Negro a mic and a Bible, and he gonna walk you, he gonna walk you, he gonna walk you. And I had one of my partners who Pastor Deutsch, his wife passed a few years back, and we were there trying to console him, make sure he was okay. And every day until he had his wife's funeral, all he kept saying was, Watkins, I just need to get to the pulpit. Watkins, I just need to get to the pulpit. And him and I was talking about this about a month ago. And like I said, his wife been dead probably about 8 years or whatnot. And we sat and laughed at that. And I find myself even now when stuff is going on, even bad stuff and negative stuff, it's like, I just need to get to the pulpit. Give me the mic, give me the Bible. And I like how the Word of God, not only does it minister to people, but it ministers to me. And I'm a firm believer that God gave us that Bible to bless us.
That's right.
And the Bible has truly been a blessing in all areas of my life. And I thank God for the friends and the families and the family that I have that He has put in my life that I can talk to and we can share. Because as a pastor, you know, your phone should be constantly on, and God bless her soul, my mom's. And you know, even with May is a hard month for me because my mother died 20 years ago on a Sunday before Mother's Day. So it has all from that point on. May has always been hard for me, and processing that even now, it's like the grieving process starts all over again. Mm-hmm. And so again, you find yourself looking for that outlet. And what I do with that, my daughters, my wife, and my daughters, and my goddaughter, I would always take them like I would do my mother. I would always take them to eat at not their favorite restaurant, but to my favorite restaurant. And so they get a big kick out of that. So that's my Mother's Day gifts to my mother to make sure I'm taking care of the mothers in my life.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Now, before we left, during break, text, you were talking about some of the things you discovered and have discovered during your grieving. Would you care to go into that?
Well, for the first 6 weeks after my wife passed, my GI tract shut down. So I literally could not eat. I was surviving on bone broth and things like that. And I experienced what they would tell me were called night terrors. So every night at the time that I first heard her fall over, hit the floor, I would wake up and have these night terrors, although her eyes never opened when I was administering CPR in the dream. Her eyes would open and I could see and feel all the pain, and I would sit up and I'd look at my biceps. This would be a big thing later. I'd look at my biceps and they'd look like snakes turning around in my arms and my legs. I couldn't control them. And the doctor would try to give me psychotropic drugs to try to, but then I found out after the first night that I couldn't wake up, go to work, I couldn't function. So I knew I had to come up with something else, and that sent me on a whole nother journey to look into this thing called grief, which then I would find trauma behind the grief, and how trauma doesn't only set up in our minds and our hearts, it lays rest in our bodies, and a lot of people don't ever confront it in our bodies. And now they understand a lot more about that. It's called somatics. But so I would go on this whole journey that would turn my health around as well, learning how certain traumas transfer into even the way we carry ourselves in public, the way we hold ourselves, whether you're holding your arms, you get in an uncomfortable group, the way you, and it manifests in bad decisions, bad habits. I don't want to say recovering alcoholic, because I stopped drinking 13 years ago, so I don't even think about it anymore. But there were times that I would, and that was because I lost my mom when I was 6. I found her; she committed suicide. So. But nobody got me any help. So I would go my whole life having these anger problems that I would find out at the death of my wife, when the psychiatrist said, you've been dealing with PTSD since you were 6. Mm-hmm. So anytime I had a challenge, whether it be in school, whether it be I'm smaller, getting picked on, I would immediately go into fight, flight, or freeze. And I'd screw everything up and not even realize why I was doing it. I just thought that I was broken. And so here, I guess that led me to the fact that I started to change the way I looked at my wife's death. I started to see it as an invitation from God, from the universe, whatever you believe in out there, You know, as if we are all as beings, if we are always in a constant state of becoming, then why couldn't this wound be a threshold of becoming? Why could that not be like a butterfly goes into a chrysalis and it has to digest itself totally before it turns into a butterfly? Caterpillar goes in, yeah, and it has to digest itself first. And you know, so to me, I started to look at this trauma as a portal to a better self. Like maybe the Creator was saying, hey, look deep in yourself. I put gifts there that you don't even know, like writing. I put gifts there you don't even know about, but I put them there for just such an occasion, break in case of emergency. And I started to embrace them and started not to fall into the, you know, I guess they call the triangle victim, villain, or hero. I tried not to fall into that triangle anymore. I made my own triangle. I started looking at that, and one of my good friends actually came up with this and taught me. I would reconnect with a lady from my past who I consider my sister more than any of my blood relatives. There's no problems with that. I love y'all. But she taught me a lot of things on that journey, and we decided to create that triangle, being love at the top and trust and truth at the base instead of the other. So that you always, like you said, we're out there trying to build each other up. We're coming from the heart. I mean, Jesus is always pointing to the heart. That you know, God is love. So you know, I've got very dear Muslim friends I hang out with, and we just agree, love. You know, it's all about love. So when I'm out there teaching kids art and stuff, I'm always telling them to connect to the heart and the creative spirit, whatever that is to them, whatever I guess true alignment is to them. You know, like this place, teaching kids what the options are, what the opportunities and possibilities are. I think our hearts are a direct pulpit for God to talk to us, and or the whatever. If you're Native American, the Great Spirit, whatever you want to call that, it's love in the end. And I started to realize that I had these other gifts as well as my health started getting better. I started taking care of myself more. Yeah, I still miss the hell out of my wife. I'm not dating yet. You know, I went out on one date where I was in the restaurant, and man, I had a total breakdown in the middle of it. And thank gosh, she had lost her fiance, had gone in to go swimming at the beach, and he drowned. So we both were kind of, you know, working through a parallel path of trauma. And again, I think now that it is I started coming up with the term transformative trauma, and that grief can be that. That, you know, if God doesn't give us things that we're not strong enough to handle, then this was my invitation to a better self, if that makes any sense.
So when did you lose your wife?
February 16th, 2024.
2024.
So 2 days after Valentine's Day. We didn't go out that day because she wasn't feeling well, but the heartburn hadn't kicked in yet. So we made plans to go out when she was feeling better. That would never come. So, but I do ceremonies for her, and I commune with her every night before I go to sleep, and every morning I get up, and I hope, you know, one day, if it's in the cards for me, I'll meet somebody else, and I'll be ready to meet somebody else. I'm doing a lot better. I've taken all kinds of other things. You probably never heard of Qigong, but I read about it in a somatic healing book, and it's old. It's thousands of years old, and they teach it over at Revolution here. It's donation based. Anybody can come. You know, it's a wonderful thing they do. They have therapy sessions that are donation based as well, and you can go get help. And I got help that way, and it's like a lot like the love I feel right now. Although it's dealing with the energy of the body, and there's a lot of movement, it's exercise, but you're dealing with the energy of the body and the trauma stores in there as well. You know, I think that's why people become addicted to certain things, is they deny themselves that clarity, and they deny themselves, and they fall into a victim mode from the same grief that could be their catalyzing factor to change them forever for a better person. But for me, I didn't want my wife's death to be in vain. I felt like I wanted to be a legacy of love going forward, and that's part of the courage I had to come here tonight, really, is because like you said, if one person out there, I had a friend who started Brain Aid here in town, beautiful guy, and he took care of his dad dying brain cancer, went downhill really slow, and I got a call, and everybody in Athens, a lot of people in Athens were affected by it. Monday, he took his own life. He went on Facebook. He thought about it. He left there. He told him on Facebook who all the monies needed to go to carry on with his legacy for Brain Aid and all these things, and that, you know, nobody was to blame. He just, if his dad taught him one thing, life goes on too long. That's what he said. And I thought, you know, I was friends with him, and he helped me in a lot of times, but I wasn't really good friends. But one of his really good friends who he went to and was staying with, he was having a hard time after that, feeling like he failed him. And, you know, I would reach out and say, you know, no, you didn't fail him. When he was down and out and at his worst, he chose you. He didn't think you could fix him. He just wanted to spend his last days with you because he felt the best. He felt like he could be his real self with you. He took his life, and I thought, you know, like you were saying, suicide. I went into suicide prevention twice. First was the first Christmas after I lost my wife. And not long after that as well. I mean, you know, God sent somebody up to me I hadn't seen from the union years, and he drove up the driveway the night I was going to take my life. And I don't even know if he knows it, but one of the gruffest people I ever met in the union. We had a kind of a love-hate relationship for a while there, but I'm not ashamed to say, he held me and we cried, you know. And, you know, and I'm glad that I did, because if I hadn't, I probably would have gone through with it. And I think that's, like you were saying, it's important to embrace the emotions, because in those releases, it's kind of like a pressure that builds up in a storm. And if you don't release it, then that's when your mind, your ego, the devil that lives in there gets a hold of you, and it can crush you. I mean, I'm an artist, so I have a really good imagination, and I always say I gotta keep creating, because if I don't create, my ego's gonna try to grab hold of my imagination and turn it against me.
Well, it's just like you just said. It's like a balloon. It's like a balloon. If you put too much air in it, it's gonna bust.
Right.
So you know, when you get too much pressure on you, and you get too much of the world, the life things come at you, and you get it on you, and you ain't got a release mechanism. You ain't got nobody to go to. This, that, and another. And that's when the enemy start playing tricks with your mind, and that's when you think about suicide or not only that, you know, you can, you know, that's when you get to thinking you got this stuff going on, and you can be in a relationship with somebody, or, you know, be married, and you going through it, you think they doing something wrong, and you want, then that's how people want to take their life and somebody else's life, and then you got to release that stuff.
Absolutely.
And just like he was saying, who do we go to? We got to find somebody to go to release it.
As a society, we should be more open
and not
too.
only that, humble yourself. If you need help, go get it. You see, if you need the help, don't be ashamed to go to a crisis center and get you some help, because help can be in the church, but help could be in a building down the street. It don't matter, but you need to get help when you're going through mentally.
Absolutely.
Because mental illness is nothing to play with.
No.
Absolutely. It's nothing to play with. As men, how do we let other men know that it's okay? Because a lot of us as men, especially the ones from our generation, because we came up having to hold it in, having to man up, having to suck it up. How do we go about letting men know that this is one of the reasons why this platform is here? Because I want to let men know, I want to let the world know it's okay, but I especially want to let men know that it's okay to have these feelings. It's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay staying okay, not okay. So how do we get this out so that men know that it's okay to have these conversations, to have these feelings, to be sad, to be down and out, to be not feeling so well today? And it's okay to feel that way. How do we let men know this?
I think you answered your own question just then.
Go ahead, Pastor.
I think that one of the things that we got to do, we got to look at our source and our resource, everything that is available to us. We're in an age now of technology, and social media is more popular than the Bible. And so therefore, we use that social media platform for any and everything else.
That's it.
With the exception of unbosom, or with the exception of let me create this space for the men in my family, for my cousins, for my nephews. You know, we can create that space since we have this particular platform of a social media, and that'll help us spread all your male cousins, your male nephews, your uncles, the daddies, whatever the case may be. We have the platform, and that's probably going to be the fastest way to reach that next gentleman. Going to be the best way through the internet or through the social media sites, and then of course within our churches, the men fellowships, the men outings. I was at a conference in Augusta Sunday through Wednesday, and what had happened was on Tuesday, they always would have what they call the women luncheon. And for years, the men, we didn't do anything. It was like, you get with whatever brothers you want to hang with, and you all go out. But this particular Tuesday just passed, we called a men luncheon. And there was probably about maybe 50 or 60 brothers got together, sat down, and we just talked, we ate, and just fellowship with one another. So again, looking at the avenues that we have available to us can help us create these small sales or small groups, and it will probably spread like wildfire. You know, you got the 100 Black Men, you got the Let Us Make Men associations here in Atlanta, and everybody's doing their part. But from an individual basis, the people that they can't reach because they don't have our social media contacts and whatnot, I think we as men can use this platform, the social media platforms, as a tool to try to bring the younger generation, our generation, to bring us together and let us know that it's okay to unbosom. It's okay to cry. You know, it's okay if you messed up. You know, I think I heard you say each one teach one and each one reach one. Whatever we can do to start that cycle of pulling us together, and so therefore we'll see that unity that we need. And not trying to get off the subject, even now with what's going on with the presidency, with the presidential, with the president who's in office, and with the elections, and with all this stuff they're trying to create, as they say, to send us back into slavery and all those kind of things. Again, we need to be able to pull together. I think I posted, if not today, it was yesterday. You know, they don't really care about us. So if they don't care about us, we got to care about ourselves, and we got to care about one another. I told my members when Trump won the presidential election, I said, before y'all go out spending money on or eating, I call it eating up your seed, you all better make sure you find something to invest in for the long run, because at some point you have to take care of yourself. You want to take care of one another. And we know that most times when our brothers and sisters pass, they don't have any life insurance. And so we got to do a GoFundMe and try to get people to raise money, which means everybody in your business, and so everybody talking ish about you, if you don't mind me using that, no pun intended.
Yes, sir.
Your family ain't got this, and we had to help bury your loved one, and so that helps perpetuate the grieving that you're going through and whatnot. So again, to have a platform, listen, we got to make sure we're not eating up our seed. These young guys, you can't spend it on the Nikes that are coming out, the fresh shoes that are coming out, with these cell phones. Every time they come out, they got these long lines for all this kind of stuff. We're going in the wrong direction with that.
Yeah, he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Because and that's what's going on. See, and I just said something Sunday about that, and I was saying, you know, people will go out and spend all this money at these restaurants, $100-$200 eating, and then go home and you ain't got hardly nothing in the refrigerator. You see what I'm saying? Or you really ain't got nothing in the bank, but you just want to do it because somebody else want to do it. You got to understand, in these days and time, like he was just saying, we got to learn how to tighten up right now, because things are not getting better, they're getting worse.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the gas prices is going up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's what I said. You know, they, like I said, you go spend all this money on other things, and then you put $10 in your car. You see what I'm saying? So in these days of time, these periods of time, we got to stand up and do what's right. And not only that, get out and vote. You see what I'm saying? Don't complain when stuff is going on, because we got to stand up and get out and vote. And then don't vote because you think you're gonna get a check. Because I've told people plenty of times, you talking about a check, that's your money anyway. He ain't giving you nothing. That's your money.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So we got to understand and come to our senses to understand that it's time to step up, get your stuff right. Just like the pastor was saying, and that way we'll be set when all this stuff going through. When there's family in the land, we still gonna eat.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what I'm saying, he's telling the truth.
I agree 100%, but like back to Rick's original question, like what do? We do this, what you're doing tonight and what you did last week, but we got to be more consistent and present with it.
Absolutely.
So, like Pastor Watkins said, it's gonna start with setting up, like you may have to do like a workshop one day. I know you don't want to do nothing like that, you know, where you have to teach people. We can bring somebody in. We can teach people how
we can do it. It
how
can
to
be
put
done.
stuff
You know
together.
what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? These smaller groups.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's a round table every few months, you know, where we can kind of get together and talk about it again instead of like, you know, wait till next, what is it, May?
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying, like, that's how stuff normally
my
happens.
goal have always been to have a group for men. And it was going to be called Check Up on Your Strong Friend. One of my favorite rappers, Royce 5'9", got a song called Check Up on Your Strong Friend, and it's talking about checking
Oh,
on yeah. So I've had this idea, and so I want to do it because I think it is so very needed, and I want it to not only just be me and my community, but I want it to eventually be every community of men coming together to have these conversations, these needed conversations, to let you know that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry. And Dr. Lakeisha Gant was here last week, and she was like, she has a dream to open up a facility for women to come in, if sometimes not say a thing, just come in and put on some music and just be.
Yeah.
And like I told her, if you open one on this corner, I'm going to the corner right next to you for men. Because we all need these outlets.
Yeah. Everybody needs it.
We all need these safe spaces, these truly safe spaces. And that's what I hope to create. I hope Talking Random Ish is a safe space. A place where we can come together and bring like-minded people, some people from different worlds. My goal is to bring people in the barbershop from different worlds, different lifestyles, to show that we have shared things going on in our lives. To let us know that it's okay.
Right.
It's okay to be different.
That's a gift.
And you are right, and that's what we really need, because it's a lot of hurt men.
It's a lot of hurt men out here.
And the saying is, hurt people hurt people.
Yes.
Right.
And you got a lot of hurting men out here today that needs an outlet and it's somewhere to go to get some help.
Hey, I'm gonna pick up what Pastor Watkins said. He and I know everybody caught it. The faster way, the more impactful way you're gonna do it, better do it. Now you can't wait for somebody to open up something because that costs money. The easiest thing is to get on the social media, get on Zoom, set up a Zoom group or whatever, and just meet. And you can meet from, you don't have to come here. You can meet from the privacy of your own home.
Absolutely.
Just jump on a Zoom call. Everybody talk about the same stuff we talking about now. You know, we can't wait till somebody open a facility and we open up. No, that's not gonna. I mean, that's long term thing. You know, that's down the road. But if you want like the immediate impact, he was saying, like we can do that right now, tomorrow.
And he was right on that, because it's
Tomorrow.
just like church. Because like a lot of churches, they went back to doing Bible study. They do it on Zoom.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you can reach a whole lot of people, like you said, on social media. And social media, would take you to another level. It's not just touching people here; it's touching people all over the world.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you really think about it, it's practical because like maybe this person might have a vehicle or gas money to get to a certain location where we meet. But you can always open up the laptop if you have it or your cell phone and go on Zoom and just have your conversation right there.
Yeah.
From the privacy of your own home. Don't cost you much.
Absolutely.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Well, fellas, I want to thank y'all. I want to thank y'all for this much needed conversation. But before we go, I would like for each one of us to give a last word on what they felt or feel about tonight. If y'all don't mind. And Pastor Watkins, can you start off?
Yes, sir. And again, thank you, and to you gentlemen, thank you all for being there for me tonight. Feel like I have found some long lost brothers, which is unique in itself, and knowing that we have that connection through Brother King, and I think when I met his mother. Before I met him and fell in love with his mother, because she was an honorary member of my church, and I kind of got to the point where I never wanted to meet a stranger. Even when I sit down, if I'm at a banquet or sitting somewhere serve, I will be the first one to go around and introduce myself
Right.
to the people at my table. Why? Because I don't want to eat with strangers. I don't want to eat with strangers.
Right.
That's very key and very important. Important to me. But as relates to making sure we have a good understanding, practice what we preach, and if we say that we're going to do it, let's be man enough to do it. And if we're not able to do it, let's be man enough to say that I'm not able to do it. That's very key. That's very key. I personally feel as though that if we can be truthful with ourselves, we can be truthful with one another.
That's right.
We can be truthful with one another. There's something that I'm going to do with the help of this attorney office, and I don't know. I think most of y'all may know Pastor Mark Weaver Jr. He was at the convention that I was at this past week also, and one of the attorneys is going to help us in the Athens area, wherever we need for him to go, with something that I think will be a blessing to all the men that will adhere to it. Now, I like what you were saying, Brother King, is like, if we can just reach one, if we can get one, that means that your mission has been accomplished. But I think that if we can start it, and if we can strike a match, it can spread like wildfire.
Absolutely.
It can spread like wildfire. So all of us on this call tonight, we have the opportunity to strike a match.
That's right.
In whatever vicinity that you're in, because of what we share tonight and the importance of what we share. We feel and we know the importance of what we share tonight. How many people in our community, how many people in our family, how many people in our churches, on our jobs, that we know really could use what we're talking about tonight, could benefit
That's right.
from what we share tonight.
Absolutely.
That's my truth.
Absolutely. Well, I enjoyed tonight because this was my outlet tonight. And, you know, coming together with brethren and pastors and able to just come in and talk about mental health and all the other things that we were talking about, it really would make me feel good. And I'm going to feel good when I leave here. Because I'm amongst brothers that spoke out, poured their heart out, and said what they needed to say. And there was a lot of information shared in this podcast, and we need to stick together and be behind Brother King, and let's make this thing bigger than what it is tonight. And it really was some heartfelt things that were said here tonight that we can take to heart and apply it to our life. Text.
Yeah, I just want to say it was an honor to be here, to be accepted in and seen and heard. I felt like it was a very, it was an easy space and it was a sacred space. I'd like to share something I wrote for this.
That's gonna be at the end.
Because I think it's good. It's I wrote it not long after my wife passed. So, but I do want to say thank y'all for welcoming me in. It's hard with all that's going on right now, and it's hard to represent an archetype that is bringing a lot of pain to a lot of people. And I don't take that lightly. I know, I look in the mirror, I know, and I understand, and that's why I try to greet everybody with my heart. And the minute I open my mouth, I feel like people know. But it like I said, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here and be welcomed in, and just thank y'all for creating a safe container. Yeah.
Boom.
Well, I'm gonna be short 'cause I know we gotta get out of here, but I just think it's really nice and for lack of a better word, rewarding to think that we took one step to knocking down this old, especially us older people,
Yeah.
that taboo about you got to be strong, you can't show your emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like that, what we grew up on, right?
Mhm.
So we took the first step with a sledgehammer. We knocked out one of the pillars. Now the next few steps is to keep it going.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's all I got. You know, for it. You know, but yeah, you just keep going, man. You know, and one pillar at a time.
Absolutely.
Then we'll rebuild.
Absolutely. Like I've been saying, to piggyback and add to what everybody else saying, I mean, my first thing is thank y'all
Thank you.
for coming in here and being vulnerable as men. Sharing your stories. And know that it's heard and received. And like I say, hopefully it's helping one other man, one other person, period,
Yeah.
understand that it's okay.
It's okay. That's right.
You know, and like the world say, it's okay not to be okay, but what I like to add to it is, it's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay staying not okay.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Like that.
Find your tribe,
T-shirt.
find your church,
Yeah.
find your God, find your people.
That's right.
Find something that's bigger than you to live for. It's okay. And like I say, I thank y'all. And if there's anything that Talking Random is, Rick, Kane, Boomer, Tanya, if there's anything that y'all need from us, please don't hesitate to holler. Because this platform is a platform for the community, of the community.
Mm-hmm.
So I thank y'all. I thank for the men that was here, and I thank the men that was supposed to be here, that was willing to be here, but things kept them from being here.
Mm-hmm.
But we gonna get ready to close this thing out, and I'm gonna say my little thing. And once I say my little thing, text, I'm gonna give you the floor so you can say your little thing, and then we gonna close these doors. Pastor Watkins, I thank you, and
God bless.
and it's like, and we'll see you soon.
Amen.
Amen. This game called life is a series of moments. The past is just that, the past. Learn from it and be thankful for it. The future, prepare for it. It's coming. Let's get to the next one. The present is a gift. Enjoy the journey. Take plenty of pictures, but most importantly, thank God. Text is on you.
This one's called There Are Two Parts to Every Sacrifice. There are two parts to every sacrifice. I didn't understand that until the night my wife died in my arms. Because no one prepares you for the weight of a body that still feels warm, but is no longer coming back. No one prepares you for the silence after the last breath. The first part of the sacrifice was not chosen. It was not brave, it was not poetic. It was the sound of my voice breaking as I begged for one more second. It was my hands learning what helplessness feels like. It was memorizing the shape of her face because some part of me knew the world was about to erase the way it moved when she laughed. The first part was losing the future we had been building in ordinary moments. The grocery list, the inside jokes, the way she said my name like it meant home. The first part of this sacrifice was giving up the life where she grows old beside me. It was surrendering every tomorrow that had her in it. And I did not give it up willingly. It was taken. But here's the terrible truth. Even an unchosen loss demands a sacrifice. Because after she was gone, I had to decide whether I was going to follow her in spirit or stay. The second part of sacrifice is what waits in the aftermath. It is waking up in a bed that feels too large and choosing to breathe anyway. It is carrying her love without letting grief turn it into a grave I climb into daily. The second part is realizing that what died in my arms was her body, not the years she poured into me, not the gentleness she taught me, not the way she expanded my heart so wide that even now it breaks in bigger pieces. What waits on the other side is not her replacement. There is no other side where she is swapped out for something easier. What waits is a different kind of devotion. It is living in a way that honors the woman who trusted me with her last breath. It is loving deeper because I know how fragile breath is. It is understanding that to have held her as she left this world was both the most painful and the most sacred thing I will ever experience. There are two parts to this sacrifice: the agony of losing the love of my life in my own arms, and the responsibility of carrying that love forward without letting it bury me. I did not choose the first part, but every day I wake up, I'm choosing the second.
Amen.
Thank y'all. Thank you.
Oh, powerful.
Thank you.
Woo!
Powerful, my brother. Powerful.
Brothers, I thank y'all.
Powerful.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. It's time to sweep. It's time to clean the clippers. Sweep the floors.
We're gonna do a better job than last week.
We gonna get these bathrooms clean. I don't know who cleaned them, but somebody got to clean the bathroom. In the words of Rita Lawson's son, Odabo Jack, the shop is closed. Thank you, Pastor.
All right, you want